How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to be predicting the 10th inning program that's going to be released within the next week or so. I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about some cards that I think could be released, as well as some cards that I think could be added into the game in a different way, as well as one confirmed card that will be added. So we take a look at the 10th inning program, basically go into the program vouchers screen and take a look at some of the clues that they give us. It looks like some fall leaves. It makes sense because we are in November, as well as it looks like there's a nice fall leaves with the pumpkin for kind of like the holiday season. I think if you unlock these three finest cards and collect them for the voucher, I think it will be pretty important to go ahead and complete the 10th inning program quickly. If you missed it, MLB The Show did reveal on Twitter that this special edition Diamond Steve Finley will be getting a 97 overall Signature Series card. Personally, I think that card will be implemented back into the signature packs at the base tier round for those packs. I think that with the Finest Elite packs being unlimited amount, I think that they might include the Signature Series packs with a limit alongside those Finest packs. So we might have both of those packs in the pack store. But I think for the 10th inning program, my number one prediction would be Signature Series Jimmy Fox. I think that this card could be a primary at catcher, as well as have a few secondary positions at first base, third base, and the outfield. I also think Oral Hershiser would be another great choice for the 10th inning program, a 99 overall Signature Series Oral Hershiser. I think that both of these cards being postseason versions would make sense for the November type of theme in terms of Signature Series players in this program. Another card I would really like to see is Signature Series Mike Trout. I think that that goes without saying. I think that when we have all these finest cards that are able to compete with the best live series player we have in the game, as well as a lot of Signature Series cards, we have to have a Signature Series Mike Trout release into the game soon. It's only a matter of time, and hopefully it is in this program. I could also see them going with Mike Trout being a 99 overall Signature Series and putting him in the rare tier round for the Signature Series pack. Now, I have included a couple of these predictions in previous videos. I've predicted Albert Pujols to be released much earlier in the year, and I have been incorrect. So I wanted to include Albert Pujols as a secondary option. Obviously, my top three choices are Jimmy Fox, Signature Series Mike Trout, as well as Signature Series Oral Hershiser. All three being Signature Series cards. I would like to see more Finest cards, but I have kind of heard that they are finished with Finest. Now, I would be down for more and more high overall players that are live series as well, but I have also kind of predicted Stan Musial. We would have to think that one of these Cardinal players will be included in something in the game pretty soon here. Obviously, my favorite player of all time, Ichiro, I would love to see him have a Signature Series card, simply because I don't think we'll have him in the game next year. He's recently retired. I think if they gave him some power like Kenny Lofton, 97 speed, and almost maxed out fielding, I think that he could get up to a 99 threshold overall card. I also think one card that I haven't really thought too much about, we've been recently talking a little bit about this in my live stream, and brought up Vida Blue. 99 overall Vida Blue was a card released in MLB The Show 17. Pretty much the same exact card art as this one, same year, same everything, just different stats and kind of adjusted to this year's game. I think that we could also see a 99 overall Hal Newhouser. A couple pitching options here. I listed a couple hitters before. Now we get into some pitching options, and I think that any of these cards that SCS goes with this program is going to be amazing. We'll also see another World Series reward released soon. We'll also see a Battle Royale reward. Well, we should see at least one more, maybe two more of those on the year. So another option would be Cy Young. I think because he has a 96 overall and he was released into the first inning program, I think that lowers his options or lowers his chances for being one of the options in this program. But I wanted to include him. I have included him in the past. But basically, I didn't want to repeat over and over again the same type of cards. Obviously, I've been wrong in the past, and hopefully that trend can continue. I might be wrong on some of these predictions, and maybe a card like Albert Pujols does get selected. But I didn't want to pick the same guys over and over again. Goose Gossage is one I would really like to see, a boosted card with more control to kind of compete with some other Signature Series closing pitchers. Another hitting option would be this Barry Larkin. This is one of the few special edition diamonds that does not have a Signature Series card. Steve Finley was another one, along with Stan Musial. Mike Schmidt would be another card that you could put in this program prediction video. I have already predicted some of those guys, so I didn't want to be too repetitive, but for the remaining second half of this video, I'm going to go ahead and upload some viewer game highlights. These games took place on my live stream yesterday, and it won't be all of the games that I was able to play, but it will be at least a few of them, get some highlights in there to kind of just round out this video. I want to always include some gameplay if possible, as well as I can continue talking about some of those programs. I think that it would be really nice to see Albert Pujols released as in the signature pack as one of the rare tiers. We could also see one of those cards released into the base tier, or I mean the middle tier. We see a couple 99 overall cards in that middle tier, and we could see a card like Stan Musial in that one, or a player like Ichiro in the rare tier, someone like that for Signature Series players. I think that would make a lot of sense. I also think that there are plenty of options for SDS to go ahead and release some of these cards. But in these viewer games so far, I got a couple rematches. I was recently playing a lot of these viewer games. I've probably given at least 20 chances to play against me within this last week or so, rolling different viewer games if you are a part of the live stream. I will also have some new emotes on Twitch a little bit later today, trying to get those approved, and they are pending right now, so that will be a little bit of a surprise. Hopefully, if everything goes as planned, I will be playing in the event a little bit later today, as well as possibly some Battle Royale. I recently drafted a pretty good team, and I haven't entered Battle Royale too many times this year, so kind of thought about getting involved with that, as well as we might see one of those cards, one of those program prediction cards that I had in this video as one of the BR rewards. So I will try and unlock that if possible. In this next game, though, I thought that this was pretty interesting. We're actually playing without the strike zone on, so we're playing friendly games. The settings can get they can be different here and there from game to game, and in this one I believe Viper sent me the invite with the strike zone off, so I thought that was a really interesting challenge to go ahead and have in the game. I think it's great to practice with the strike zone off, something I never really thought about since that strike zone off event, and playing this type of game made me really think that this can help you with patience at the plate. It can help you kind of read pitches, whether there's balls or strikes at the plate. When you're pitching, it doesn't really matter if the strike zone's on or off, simply because if you do have the ball trail on, which is in the settings for pitching, then you will be able to know if you're throwing a strike or a ball. The ball icon will be highlighted red or blue, depending on where you're throwing in the zone. I think it's better practice at the plate. I think it makes it a little bit more challenging to decipher if it's a ball or a strike. There I struck out looking on a perfect pitch on the lower outside corner with 12-6 curveball from Kershaw. And just as I say that, I mean, I threw a pretty good pitch myself, slider low and away to Lou Gehrig. He sends that one deep, and that can really be the difference in these 3-inning games. One swing of the bat can be really what decides the game. I just got under this one with Pablo Sanchez, the creative player, the legendary backyard baseball character, and he left in Kershaw for this whole game. He went into the bullpen finally for the last couple of outs. I drew a walk with Frank Thomas, ended up striking out looking against Patrick Corbin to end the game there. What a great game, though, from Viper. What a great game from Ninja Bowers in the first one as well. And now in the third game here, we're going up against Dominoes, and I recently played Dominoes in a game of Ranked Seasons. This guy's been a longtime supporter of the Twitch stream. He's also watched some YouTube videos. I played against him and uploaded a YouTube video for Ranked Seasons, and it was a really good game. It was back and forth, one of the best games that I've played this year, and it was a lot of fun simply because I knew the opponent. I know this guy, and he has an all-Yankees team in this viewer game. I know he's a Yankee fan. He was rocking his all-Yankees team with DJ LeMahieu in the leadoff spot, and luckily that one wasn't sent out for a home run. In the previous Ranked Seasons game that we played, he was able to hit a no-doubt homer with that DJ LeMahieu. So I was pretty nervous facing him in that first at-bat there. Didn't want to start down one already. We are the away team in some of these games. Depending on if I'm able to send the invite or the opponent's able to send the invite, it doesn't really matter. I think it's great practice to play as the home and away team. This play, you're probably wondering what I was doing with Ted Williams. I was trying to switch off. I was literally spamming L2, tapping it, trying to switch to Willie Mays, and run to the left center field gap to try and make that play. It didn't work out, but later on in the inning, he knocks a base hit that probably should have scored this run. It was just hit too hard with his creative player, and Babe Ruth with the cannon throws him out at the plate. So that's a pretty important play. Later on in the game, he gets a base hit with DJ LeMahieu up the middle. I don't know how Domino's is so good with that card. I know that I would bat under 200 with that card simply because he doesn't have the greatest stats, I don't think, as well as his swing is a one-handed right-handed swing. So I know that I wouldn't hit well with that card personally, but Domino's seems to be doing really well with him. We're in extra innings here, and if you didn't know how viewer games work, we will go ahead and play one extra inning. We'll go into the fourth if the game is still tied, and after the fourth inning, we'll go ahead and call it a friendly quit, simply to give as many people a chance to play as possible. We could really go into extra innings in a lot of these games simply because you guys are very good at the game and always have very competitive shortened games with me. Anyway, I think it's great practice, even if you're losing in the game down to your last couple of outs. Even if I don't have a chance to win as the away team, if I wasn't able to score, it really puts the pressure on me to try and keep the game tied and keep him from walking the game off. Anyway, we're in the fourth inning, down to his last out. I have Trevor Hoffman in the game. As you can see, he has yellow stamina. So really, I have to be extremely careful with what I'm throwing to Gleyber Torres. This is the finest Gleyber, and this card has done really well against me as well. In this situation, he got one of these at-bats where he was fouling off everything. I mean, some of these swing timings weren't necessarily the greatest, but he was doing the job and fouling off pitches, making it extremely tough for me to get that punch out or get that payoff pitch to be a successful one. But later on in the at-bat, I had to go to Sergio Romo. Even in the middle of the at-bat, a 3-2 count, I had to go with the guy that was well rested. I felt like he was going to hit a home run to tie the game up, and he would have probably hit it on this pitch if I did not take out Trevor Hoffman and bring in Romo. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'm somewhat right on these prediction videos. I have been right on the players, not necessarily when they've been released into the game or how. But until next time, everyone, peace out.